gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We.
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track, never whack, bring it back, and we are back with Strawhat Sitdown, episode 52. Out. Yeah, we are out here. I mean, you guys to pardon my voice. I'm a little sicky icky, but the show must go on. And we got a bigger chapter to talk about today, so I had to pop out regardless from.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm with the gang as usual. D3 couldn't make it today, so I always love using the chopper pick, so that's fine. But he is a little sick, yeah. So we are gonna wish him a speedy recovery. Hope he feels better, man.
Yeah.
But I am here with the rest of the gang as usual. Strawhat Mod in the building. What is up, my brother?
What is good, y'all? I hope y'all having a good morning today.
Indeed. Mr. G in the building. What's up, man?
Yo, what's good, everybody? Yo, quick shout out. Yo, happy birthday to my brother-in-law Sam, one of my best friends Donato, one of my best friends Erica. Yo, happy birthday to y'all, yo.
Damn, you got 3 birthdays in one day. That's crazy.
I forgot about Sam's last week. His was last week, and then the other 2 were literally like back to back. So.
All right. Well, happy birthday to all people mentioned. Hope you guys had a fabulous day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Last but not least, of course, YHuss in the building. What is going on, my brother?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. I wanted to say something cool, but I have nothing to say. I'm hyped for the chapter.
It would be like that. So I want y'all to know when we start these intros, y'all don't gotta. You feel me? I don't want y'all to feel like y'all gotta say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I don't feel like I gotta say what I want to.
That high is all good, man. Yeah, so we're just gonna go over the chapter as usual. We didn't write a summary this week. We were kind of slacking on the summaries, but it's cool because we can just go over the chapter and just organically talk about the stuff. So it ain't no big deal. So yeah, we're just gonna go over the chapter as usual. If you guys are ready.
Yep.
Let us do it. Chapter 1073. Miss Buckingham Stussy, huh?
You got the Discord stream up? So
I do not, but I will right now. I got you. All right, what's up now?
Yes, sir. Ski.
Yeah, chapter 1073. Miss Buckingham Stussy. Cover page real quick.
Oof. So okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Very. So I think this is where we see the division, right, between the mad scientists, right? Like they had no idea that they were doing, like they were working on this shit. I'm assuming, and Vegapunk changes the flowers at the end. Well, the other 3 were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" like,
yeah.
No, so you can see this is definitely where. Yeah, no, that's good though. That's definitely a good observation. You can definitely see this might be where Vegapunk starts to break off and start doing his own.
And if you guys remember, like I don't know if it was last chapter or the one before that, they mentioned when Vegapunk was talking about the creating a live person, and in the end it says like a peace laboratory, and we were talking about that kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember I brought it up because I was like, does that mean anything to you guys?
So this might be a little bit of that, right? Where Vegapunk's idea is more peace, and there's
the other when we saw, was it the 4 of them or was it the 3 of them in the cover story? When we thought that they were working on something, right, and they were giving a devil fruit, and
it was the 3 of them.
It was only 3 of them.
Vegapunk was not there. Yeah,
oh, bro.
And I also want to point out that I looked at all the devil fruits. That is an artificial devil fruit. It doesn't have the swirls.
Ooh.
It's like the circles that are in the smile one.
Wait,
yeah,
back real quick.
I thought that's what that was, legitimately.
Yeah. because we were thinking, oh, it could have been the Stussy one.
Bro,
But
they
it's
were
not.
working on this behind Vegapunk's fucking back, bro.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna see like the divide of
Wow,
Mads.
this is interesting. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, great,
Yeah.
great catch, Mister. Great catch.
Yeah, definitely.
On top-
Yes.
On top of that, we also just also goes to show that, like, you know, it just shows that those three are more aligned with, like,
One of them, yeah.
with doing messed up stuff other than like Vegapunk. Not to say that Vegapunk wouldn't do something messed up either, but we can see his goals are a little bit.
Yeah, for peace, like it says, you know, like for like the greater good, while the other three are like more greedy and
Yeah,
shit,
Mhm.
you know. So
yeah.
All right.
interesting.
Yep, definitely interesting cover story. Going down to the actual chapter. We start off where we left off in the last chapter with Stussy biting Kaku.
Yeah.
Lucci tries to retaliate, but he turns into this, excuse me, I don't know, what is it called? Paper Arts Heartbreak After Image? I don't know what to make of this, but
Let me. What, did they change? Did they change that in the official?
is that the name of it in the? I haven't read the official yet, so you guys are my.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just moved past.
Yeah,
it.
paper art after image. Yeah, same shit.
Basically same.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah,
probably a
interesting.
CP0 technique.
Yeah,
Or
I
some
think that's what
type of,
people were
like-
saying.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense.
Okay. So CP0 like the ninjas of One Piece. In a
They-
way?
They have all those techniques, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I'm about to say, like, they've
Manual,
been
all
like
that
the
Rokushiki.
freaking-
I don't know if you
yeah,
can say ninjas because there's actual ninjas in there, but yeah.
Yeah, but they're like
yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right.
they're the ninjas of they're the ninjas of the world government. Let's
Yeah.
just say
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little shadowy organization type things.
Wait.
right.
Can I just say this is one of the hardest things I've ever seen?
I know.
Shorty pulls the sea stone out the lipstick
Yes.
and stabs
Bro.
Lucci, bro. Like that is so fucking raw. That's gangster. Catches him lacking, gives him a chomp, the same thing he did to Kaku, and Lucci and Kaku are both down for the count.
I love the face. I love like the panels of their faces in this page. Like the one where she has her, like she's about to bite him. The one right there. The one above Lucci where Lucci's looking back at her. Like
Yeah,
the one with his
there's
face.
a lot of facial expression panels.
He
Yeah,
was going hard. Yeah. Odo's doing his thing. In those
no,
panels.
this is sick. This is definitely sick. Stussy looks cool. Stussy definitely looks cool.
Stussy definitely got to be in our game, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
She OD, dude.
Land grab free, bro.
Easily.
Oh my God.
Easily. So yeah, Brooke and Zoro confused. And
He kills me
then
that Zoro just like has his hands in his pockets, just like looking. He's like,
Bro's
this
just
is
chilling.
happening right now.
So,
He's chilling.
I guess
He's
we're
just chilling.
done.
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
That's Zoro though, because Zoro could just he's got that battle sense. We could just flip it like that, like the same way as a few chapters ago when he was sleeping and just woke up immediately just to deflect an attack. Like he don't need to be ready mode to be ready, you know.
That's OD. That's true. That's true.
But yeah. So Stussy makes a phone call. We find out the phone call is to Dr. Vegapunk or one of the Vegapunks, and it turns out that Stussy was the hidden force that Vegapunk was talking about.
Let's go, baby. Call that shit. Let's go.
Yeah, what do you I feel like a lot of people didn't see this coming only because it felt like it was the most, I don't want to say obvious, but like it's weird. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Because I feel like nobody really said Stussy. I feel like we said Stussy, but nobody but Mr.
Wait,
agreed with it, you know?
Do you mean like after the last chapter?
What do you mean?
Like, because when they reveal that Stussy is against them when Kaku kills, or sorry, she just takes out Kaku.
No.
You mean after that?
No,
or
I'm talking
before that?
about right now when we find out that the person that Vegapunk was calling to, the secret force or whatever, is Stussy.
Yeah. I mean, like, so, like, when you say like no one was really looking for it, do you mean like when she reveals herself to be, like, after she bites Kaku or before, like?
Okay, before she bites Kaku. I guess.
Okay, before that, no one had any idea. Before that, no one knew it was Stussy. I feel like.
My thing is like, when did she get a chance to do this? So that's why I was like, even though I said it last week, like, you know, what if it's her? Cause I had a feeling it could be her, but after you guys said, like, you know, because there was no opportunity. She was with Rob Lucci the whole time.
I'm saying.
When the fuck did she go to? Hey,
when did she answer the call?
I'm gonna help you, Vegapunk. Like, we had no, like,
Did they officially say that it was her?
Yeah,
Like,
look what they say. Stussy came through. She's calling them on like.
she
saying,
called them, but like hold up, wait a minute. Because who was the one that the main Vegapunk? He was the one that called.
Vegapunk's the one who called this person. But the thing is, okay, I don't know, we don't have to go back to last chapter, but the chapter where they talk about that person, but the things that they say about that person are kind of like they say like, oh, they're gonna be driven out of their home or something like that. Like, but they meant home as in like figuratively, like being a government
being a double agent. Now they blew the cover. That's
more in that sense. And then like
yeah.
So it was like that's the thing. And then how did she pick up the phone and say, yeah, I'm gonna be on your side. I got you.
Exactly, bro. She had that shit on auto. Like I had a fucking automated machine.
But see, this is why I'm a little like skeptical a little bit. I mean, if it's her, it's her. I'm cool with that. But I'm a little skeptical because there's two things. One, didn't they say the person was like living on the island? And then two,
so let's go back to the chapter. What was it? Two chapters ago?
It might have been 2 or 3. Yeah.
Two. And then secondly, didn't they say that like, you know, you guys are the ones that pointed out to me that this person was being like, it was implied that this person was being chased after by a third party other than the world government. So now
I'm gonna look at the official for you because I feel like that was something we took from the official or from the TCB one.
Okay, because my original hypothesis was that like she was going to be on like whoever was on call was going to be on the run from the government. But you guys were the ones that pointed out to me that the way that was implied, it seemed more like, you know, she would just be, if she was spotted by the world government, then the third party that's like getting after her would, or get after that person would just have an easier time to get after them. Now I don't even know. Like
but that was a possibility, right? That's what we thought. No one thought that fucking Stussy was gonna be a double agent. You know what I mean? She's been undercover for over 2 decades. That's ridiculous.
I think like the issues you have with it come from like the wording that we read at the time. Because like even here, where like if on Kylie's stream, which is I think the official, because I'm looking at the official on my app, on Kylie's stream it says taking our side would mean being driven out of home and chased by the government. Driven out of home. They mean if it's Stussy, if like, because it seems like
okay,
that would be a figurative thing, right? Like not a literal.
Right.
But we read it literally.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Now that was someone on the island, so it was a bit of a
so at the time it was like at the time we were probably more literal, but you know now that we see who it is, it's most likely figurative.
Yeah, it's figurative.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can take that. Okay, all right. Everything's cleared up now.
Everything's clear on your end, Mod. That's great. That's fantastic.
Me and Miss were mentioning it. Like, when did she pick up the phone and be like, "Yeah, I've been waiting 20 years for this order, dog"? Like, when did she say that? She was literally the whole time.
Yeah. So unless she got
no
some like
for that.
paper, she can make a clone shit, fucking Morgan shit. Yo, Callie be on that shit.
Or like order or whatever.
She definitely got that clone jutsu, bro. Shit.
There's no other answer, bro. For real.
Well, she's a bat, right? Like, or a vampire or whatever.
So sonar shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't bats have a certain type of like, you know, signals or whatever? Maybe that like through some Vegapunk invention or through some Vegapunk like, you know, language or some type of language that he can understand. Yeah. Maybe he understood through some type of like you said, sonar or some type of like unique bat language that, you know, she was giving off.
I think y'all are reaching harder than Luffy right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be 100% with y'all, bro.
Because they do sonar shit. I mean, it's definitely possible.
But then she picks up the phone. But then right here, she's picking up the phone. She's like, "Yo, guys, I knocked him out."
Yeah.
I do think that is a little bit of a fallacy, and it could definitely mean that Stussy isn't the person that Vegapunk was talking to. I think everything points to it being Stussy, but that one fact of how she picked up the call, you know, we could sit here and make all these different theories, but the fact is we didn't. That is a dilemma in it. You know what I mean? If she was with Lucci the whole time, you know, how could she have done that? You know,
I'm also willing to accept the fact that it's simply.
She could have done it while they were fighting.
Maybe, yeah. I also, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be something that Oda just like glossed over. Like, we're supposed to assume there was a lot of opportunity for her to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Like. But okay, there's one more thing. I think it's chapter 10. I think it's still 71.
Oh, bro, it's when fucking Kaku was knocked out because he jumped up in the air, and then fucking Lucy was fighting Luffy at the time.
No, it's when they're looking up. It's when the Frontier Dome deactivates.
Okay, that's another one.
Keep going, Callie.
Oh, wait. Remember when we were talking about when we were assuming that
Next
whoever
page,
was the one Vegapunk called was the one that probably deactivated the...
So okay, here's the thing. Yeah, so it deactivates, right? And then Mod, I thank you for remembering, because I was saying, what if it was the person Vegapunk called? Right, and at that time we had no idea if it was Stussy or whatever. Because the reason I said it was actually that works towards what I was saying, because go down to the bottom of this page, Callie. Look at Stussy's reaction.
Yeah, she has got a question mark. I remember we pointed that out.
Why is she surprised? Basically,
or she's indifferent. I mean, it's
No, that's a question mark, bro. I wouldn't call a question mark
indifferent. That's a question of question marks, bro.
I don't think that's indifferent.
My point is that there's still someone on the island that is acting in some sense.
Yeah, honestly, I'm convinced. YHuss convinced me. I don't think it's Stussy.
The thing is,
I actually don't think it's Stussy. Huh?
Yeah, I still think it was Stussy.
You think that the person that Vegapunk called is Stussy still?
Bro, I can't see who else it would.
So you just think it's inconsistency with Oda's writing? Okay.
And I think there's one thing. I think not inconsistency. I think the whole, like I said earlier, I think the call thing is something we're gonna have to just assume, right? Like, we'll be like, okay, there's probably some way for her to answer the phone, right? But to me, the Frontier Dome deactivating is still something, like some extra thing we have to remember. Like, there's something still going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be another.
We haven't had that explained yet. You're right. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think YHuss is right. I think the safest bet is just to assume the person that Vegapunk called was Stussy, and the whole thing about the phone situation, I think is just best left to chop it up to like our interpretation of things. Like,
and the reason I'll actually agree with that is because Pythagoras says, when they're talking about calling this person, Pythagoras says we do have one more ally on the island, and Stussy is an ally on the island, so it has to be her.
It has to be.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, but we have to remember that still the Frontier Dome deactivated, and unless Stussy is like an actor, I feel like Oda will not show us that question mark for no reason.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I believe we can assume it was her that he called.
All right. So Stussy calls CP0 calls the Vegapunks after the deed is done. The Straw Hats with Vegapunk finds out that Rob Lucci was beaten, and they find out that Stussy was the undercover agent. I think it's a funny line to make note of here is that Robin says you had a mole in the intelligence branch, and then Vegapunk says it wasn't our intention, but that's how it turned out.
Yeah.
I think that's just something to make note of. He didn't mean for this to happen, but I guess now I think about it, I guess it's just due to them being in Mads and Stussy taking whatever path she took to end up in government office. Vegapunk just happened to have a connection. I'm really interested in Stussy now. Holy shit, bro.
Oh yeah,
I'm so fucking interested in Stussy. What
2
the hell?
decades, bro. Yo, she was playing the government for 2 decades.
Yo,
like everybody, bro. That's OD.
Yeah,
and she's been playing, and Oda has written her in so many different ways. You think about it, how she was introduced back in Whole Cake Island, and that turned out when we found out that she was actually a CP0 agent. That was crazy because originally she was introduced as like a broker of the underworld or some type of like underworld figure.
I remember it was when we got met with Morgans and shit, right?
Oda has been taking this character for a ride for a long time now, and been taking the audience for a ride with this character. Like Stussy is
word. So Stussy she finishes off the agents. She is talking to the Vegapunks. Okay, and she's telling them that the authority level is the same as Lucci's. Can't override the door. The Seraphims are still gonna blow up the dome or whatever. The Vegapunks scramble to try and stop the Seraphims. Brook and Zoro also scramble. Zoro makes a comment that the kids look familiar, especially that one. I'm assuming he's referring to Kuma. The Kuma Seraphim?
I think he's talking to Mihawk because he stopped
talking about Mihawk. Yeah.
Like keep going because he's gonna like him and Mihawk clash like verse.
Okay, I see.
And then he continues to talk about him. So I think it's Mihawk.
Okay.
So
Go
I
ahead.
do think I think the translation from the fan was different from the
Yes.
was like ambiguous, right? And then while in the official, it's more specific.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Okay.
that's what I do believe. At first, I agree with you, Callie. I didn't think it was the Mihawk, but then after reading the official one just now, I do believe he's talking about Mihawk specifically.
Okay. So there's holes getting blown in the lab. 2 other Vegapunks escape through these holes. One of the agents, what are these fuckers called again, bro?
Satellites?
Satellites? The Vegapunk bodies.
Oh, the
Yeah. I just call. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, and I'm gonna just keep saying Vegapunks, bro. So one of the Vegapunks gets out, tries to issue a command at the Seraphims, but the Mihawk bot notices her and immediately goes to slice her in half. Zoro with the swift save comes in, and we get a clash between Seraphim, Mihawk, and Zoro. Really cool stuff. We get a little bit of dialogue between Mihawk and Zoro.
Wait, this is different in the official. In the official, Zoro says, "Now that I get a better look at you, you're actually a little more human than him."
Wow.
Oh.
Meaning he's talking about Mihawk.
Yeah.
He's saying the Seraphim is more human than Mihawk. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Jesus Christ.
Yes, I know. I was thinking the same thing.
What does that even mean, Fabs?
No, but I mean, they're saying the same thing here, though. On closer inspection, you're not the same. You actually have a spark of humanity still.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I feel like it was a bit ambiguous at first.
At first,
This just clears it up. Yeah.
That's kind of how I saw it. I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging.
No, actually, I know. I see what you mean. Like, if you read this literally, it's still the same wording.
Oh,
Like,
maybe
it's still the same thing.
I just read it. Yeah, I read it literally when I first read it. I was like, "Damn, is Mihawk that cold?"
Yeah, no, I don't think he's being literal here. I don't think he's like, maybe he might be, but I don't think that's what this is. I think that this is I think that this is kind of like a power scaling thing, because Mihawk is considered like a monster, or like like a crazy monster in the world of One Piece. And if you look, people have been talking about this clash right here, and how Zoro looks calm while the Mihawk Seraphim is sweating right here. He looks like a little bit distressed that he can't break through.
Yeah.
So like it may be that when he said that, he's saying like, oh, like, you're a little bit more human than Mihawk, as in like, I can deal with you easier than
That's
probably
actually a very fair interpretation, I feel like.
Respect
yeah.
Because another way I was gonna take it was like, because to me, I thought, like, when I read that, and I was like, I feel like Mihawk is a pretty human dude. Like, he says a lot of interesting stuff, and what his evaluation of Luffy and Marineford is like, the strongest power is his ability to bring people towards him. That's like a pretty human thought, it's not like a monster. It's like it's like it's about togetherness, all that stuff. And then how he doesn't just obliterate Zoro when he first sees him in the Baratie. He tells him like, yo, come reach for me. He gives Zoro like he helps Zoro like train, because he sees him throw away his pride to serve Luffy, right? Like, so all these things were like, Mihawk's definitely, he's cold, he's like a legend, but he like, it's hard. Like, this is I don't think he just means he's a robot, or like there's something more to Mihawk. Like, we have to see.
Yeah, this is a power. In my opinion, this is a power thing. Like, Mihawk is a monster. He's like, no one can really see him like that. And for him Zoro to say like, actually, you know what? You're a little bit more human. As in like, you're not as strong as Mihawk. Like, that's what I got at least. But yeah, like,
and there's like a lot of ways to take that line.
Yeah. No, that's respectable. Up for interpretation. So they clash. The other Vegapunk comes in to try and issue the same command to the Seraphims. He gets it out. He says the Seraphims to stop fighting, but not before the Jinbei Seraphim shoots a laser beam blast at him. He seemingly explodes, but Sanji with the save, as per usual. Sanji the GOAT comes in, swoops in, saves the Vegapunk bot. And
I thought it was interesting that, like, we see Lilith crying.
Yeah.
like shedding some tears for him. I was like, whoa.
For Edison dying.
Not
yeah.
that I'm surprised that like they're buddies, but like that was a pretty like. Because for a lot of people were like, yo, Lilith is the traitor or whatever, or like she's the one who took down the Frontier Dome, something like that. Like, and we all know there's specific traits of Vegapunk or whatever, and she's only wrath, that's why she wants to fight. But it was cool seeing her show emotion for like one of her
other ones.
What the hell would you call their relationship? Clone? I don't know. I guess clone. I don't know. Fucking know. But yeah, it was just cool to see her shed tears.
Yeah, definitely cool. The Seraphim, they listen. They stop destroying the dome. They found Lucy and Kaku with the Sea Stone. The Vegapunk tells Stussy to leave the island with them. So now we have 6 Vegapunks and a CP0 agent trying to get on the seven Vegapunks and the Stussy trying to get on the Strawhat ship.
Where would they leave the Seraphim?
That is a good question. I guess they were just gonna leave him on the island, but it would make sense to take him.
Because at the end of the chapter, the Seraphim are not coming with them. At least.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And if they are, they're not getting far.
100%.
And then you got Bonnie potentially.
Oh, Bonnie as well, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Very many Usopp lines. People.
Yep. So, Luffy is looking for Bonnie and Punk. Vegapunk. But we get a truly unexpected development. Dr. Vegapunk's main Stella body has vanished. And then this is the last panel we get from the island.
Crazy ending.
Yeah, no, this is insane. I have any thoughts?
It said main Stella body, right?
So that's the old man. That's the old man.
It is?
Yeah, that's the old man. Yeah.
Well, it has to definitely do with Bonnie touching
Kuma's memories.
I agree with you.
Yeah, 100%.
So they're either like teleported somewhere or some shit together, and then
Yeah, I think it's
that's
like,
my only guess.
Okay, this is gonna sound wild, but so I thought, it might be them teleported somewhere. Wait, can Kuma create like a portal? Like with his ability, maybe?
I don't think it's
It's possible.
I don't think it's a portal though, right? Because he just sends people away. He can't like put 2 paws and then you can move from in one paw and then come out a different paw.
Maybe not a portal, but like a launch pad.
Oh, so like you step in it and then it goes off to whatever direction.
Yeah,
I don't see why that's not. I don't see why that's not feasible.
Because the whole thing in the last chapter was the creation of intangible things. Like, how far can you stretch that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like a bit of a tangent. But actually, the really wild thing was that maybe the experience of this is like, if you touch that, this is gonna sound really out there, but it's one percent. Is that you touch the thing, and almost like in a video game, you like witness the flashback in real time. Like you're almost transported to his memories.
So they're sitting in the flashback right now, watching it, type shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely possible. I think that's definitely possible.
On some Attack on Titan shit.
No, they did save memories, so that does make sense. It's interesting for sure. Mister, you gonna say something?
Luffy doesn't have the best track record keeping track of people, so he'll be looking for them for a while.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the narrative box saying that, like, I feel like that's fucking weird. Like, does that mean like
that they're gonna be gone for a while? That's
does the Egghead end without them being around? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, with the narrative box, it definitely does give some implications like that. Like, we might not see them again by the end of this arc, to be honest.
Yeah, like, because the only thing in the narrative box I think of, like, when it said the what's it called, the fleet is going to cause some great problem, Ace and Blackbeard is going to be a huge incident in the future. Like, stuff like that.
Or when was there a narrative box when the one island got
the Lucia?
So?
Yeah, when Lucia got smoked. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Narrative box definitely has major implications. Jeez. R.I.P.
It gives it more like a finite type of like this is a fact, type of shit,
Yeah. Something else I'll bring up just for the sake of like posterity and bringing everything up, and also it kind of might have to do with the Frontier Dome disappearing. Remember when we first talked about the Frontier Dome going off? Was that they look at the control room, right? And they're like, yo, no one's in there. What the heck? So one idea someone brought up was that maybe someone who knows the control room, moves super fast, turns everything off and bounces, right? And my buddy had a random idea that maybe he's always already been on the island and snatched him up like that.
Yeah.
I just thought that was something to bring up, something that could be a possibility.
We
even though I don't believe it.
we were saying that when it first happened, we were saying that it's definitely possible it's Kizaru. I mean, he's fucking light, so
yeah. So it could be an
Kizaru-
extension of that. Yeah, he has already been on the island. He has already gone Vegapunk.
Wait, but we see Kizaru later in the
At
chapter.
the end, yes, that is the case. So I don't think it's true. I just thought it was worth bringing up.
Okay, well, understandable.
okay.
Yeah, so that's it for the Egghead part of the chapter. We then jump over to the other side of the New World. We are at Sphinx, which is Whitebeard's hometown. Marco has returned from Wano to find some very crazy developments happening on his island. As the kids tell him, we go back to a flashback in real time when it happens. The Marines storm Whitebeard's hometown, telling him that the island isn't government affiliated, they have no rights, and they want Whitebeard's treasure. So they start tearing the place apart, trying to find it, threatening people, doing whatever they can, trying to get this supposed treasure that Whitebeard has on the island. As one of the Marines is about to shoot an old lady, who on further in section might be the lady from the end of the chapter, if I'm not mistaken. No? Okay, it's just an old lady. Okay. Yeah. So as the Marines are about to shoot an old lady, we see out of nowhere from behind a huge giant scythe or slash sword. I don't know what you call this staff. I don't know what you call this weapon. But
glaive? I don't know.
Glaive, yes.
Yeah.
I think it is a glaive, yeah. You're right. But yes, giant glaive swing, and it is Whitebeard's supposed alleged son, whose name escapes me. Weevil, yeah. Yes.
Fucking
Weevil.
ugly ass motherfucker, bro.
He is definitely ugly. Screaming, "Stay away from my pappy's home." Weevil defends territory from the Marines and drives them off. However, the Marines do not leave without requesting backup.
Yeah.
W Weevil, by the way.
Yeah, Weevil's a good. That's definitely cool.
Yeah, cool behavior.
He did his thing.
Yeah.
Definitely dope. What?
I was just gonna say that up to this point, the implications around Weevil has always been like this, like, and we see through this chapter too, not just Weevil, but with Miss Buckham or
Buckingham.
Yeah, Buckingham. That, like, you know, when they were first introduced, they made Oda kind of portrayed them as like this greedy pair that's like trying to like nefariously take stuff that belongs to Whitebeard under false pretenses.
Yeah. That's how they made it out to be, though.
Huh?
That's how they made them out to be, though, and like, you know.
That was the perception in the I mean, they could still very well be, honestly.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. They could still be motivated by like greed, but I thought, like, you know, it was solely greed, you know, like the way that this chapter portrays both of them, Oda's portraying them a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more less despicable than we thought.
Yeah,
agreed.
So, you know, with that being said, I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing like the Weevil Buckingham stuff. But yeah, like this is pretty cool. Weevil.
W Weevil. Not a total useless bad.
Still ugly though.
Love to see that. So they finish recanting the tale, and Marco says that he's glad that they're safe, and then we see a mysterious elderly figure come out of the shadows, saying that that's not the end of it, and that Green Bull shows up as backup and captures Weevil, takes him away. We find out that this old lady is the original Miss Buckingham Stussy, former member of the Rocks Pirates.
Self-proclaimed scientist as well, which is pretty interesting.
Self-proclaimed scientist, indeed. She was part of Mads as well. She wants Marco to get her son back, and fork over Whitebeard's inheritance.
Marco dabbing her hard.
Bro. Yeah, right. So Marco is a little confused. Understandably so. It's like he doesn't know what's going on. Last line of the chapter, Miss Buckin says she can hear it in his tone. You still doubt he's Whitebeard's. Well, I know someone who can prove it. Dr. Vegapunk. And that is how the chapter ends.
There's
one more.
Yeah, definitely how the chapter ends. Yeah.
Wait, is that not how it ends?
No, one more. They did it early for some reason.
Bro, I didn't even read this part. I swear to God, I didn't, bro.
You did not? Wait, whoa, really?
Okay. You're capping.
I swear to God, I did not read this part, bro. I look, nigga, it says end of chapter break next week. How am I supposed to know that shit? Wait, dead. All right, hold on. All right, wait.
You don't look at the color.
You know Zoro shows up later this chapter?
I know.
Right. Ooh.
Because the color spreads be at the bottom too, and I'll be always checking them out. That's how I noticed. And then,
oh wait, no, okay, wait. Okay, no, I did read this. I'm sorry. This is with the,
yeah, you said Zoro show up later.
No, you're right. With the Gorosei. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm bugging. I just know because they put the end of chapter shit there. It confused me.
Yeah, I was shocked when I read it.
Yeah, so the actual end of the chapter, Kizaru is still on his way to Egghead. They have a guest on one of his ships. They're talking about they need to test his food for poison before they take it to him. And we see him asking this person if they've ever met Dr. Vegapunk before. And then we see this person is one of the 5 elders, Saint J. Garcia Saturn. Kizaru asks him if he's met Vegapunk before. He says, once a long time ago. I think what's happening now is truly such a shame. Actual end of chapter. For real this time.
For real.
We're about to see an elder in action, bro.
And then we got break.
We got break next week, yeah.
My soul.
All right. So, this is the first time we have ever seen an elder move apart from their group.
Yep.
This is literally the first time ever. In 1072 chapters, 73.
Yes.
Yo, this is the first time we see an elder leave that freaking building, like
ever.
In that room.
No,
like,
we've seen him walk around the building.
When
they see Imu, the chapter they see Imu.
Oh yeah.
They're walking around, yeah. And I think they meet what's his name in a different room, Shanks. Well, maybe Bushy. But anyway, yeah, we know. Like, so basically, they've only been in Marysville the whole time. They've never left anywhere. And another big thing is that we get one of their names. That to me is insane.
Yes.
Now, this was something somebody brought up to me. My bad. I'm having some brain farts today. Holy shit. Yo. This is something that somebody brought up to me that was due to his name. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It's not necessarily a theory, but it's a connection that I've been seeing, that a lot of One Piece revolves around space.
Yep.
Constellations and things like that.
You definitely, because I saw this a solar system.
Right. So we have the 5 elders. We know one of them is Saturn, right?
Yeah.
I believe the other. Do we have the others?
We have none of them. None of their names.
None of them.
No.
This is the first time. But we know the ancient weapons names are after planets.
Right, they're planets. We have Imu, which is ruler of the world, Earth, right?
Yeah, the sea specifically.
The sea.
Because Imu backwards is Umi, which is sea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the sun. Luffy's a sun god.
Sun god, right?
Yep,
and then the Kozuki are like the moon, because Suki is moon in Japanese, I think.
Jesus Christ!
Okay.
I didn't even know about that one.
I didn't know. Yeah, because the crescent moon on the thing. Yeah.
Thanks.
Not to mention the 3 ancient weapons are definitely
named after planets.
Which are Roman gods.
What are they?
Which also
what
has
are they
correlation to Greek gods.
Uranus, and then Poseidon, aka Neptune.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this is escaping me right now.
Is it Jupiter?
You said Pluton.
It's Pluton.
I guessed that it was Uranus.
I thought you said Pluton. All right.
No, so Pluton, Pluto, and then Uranus. Wait. We know that's called Uranus, right?
Yeah.
The last one that we don't know about. We know that it's called
Uranus.
Okay. Poseidon,
Uranus.
aka Neptune.
And Pluton is supposed to be god of the underworld, which
Hades,
is also like Hades. Uranus is sky, which is Zeus, and then Neptune, that's Poseidon, which is So it's like correlation between like the Greek gods, the Roman gods, and which have very, very similar overlap. And so what you're saying here, it corresponds.
I'm about to start brushing up on my astrology, and I'm gonna unlock the One Piece.
I was like curious about like their orbits and stuff. So I'm actually looking at the solar system on the NASA's website, and Uranus, Neptune, and Pluton are actually the furthest orbits from the sun. I thought that's pretty interesting. And
Uranus,
so
Neptune, Pluto. Those are the 3 weapons. Word.
Yeah. So Uranus is Pluto's the first one out, and then it's Neptune, then it's Uranus. So I was trying to see, because Saturn is the name of this guy, so I assume the other ones are like Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Venus.
Yeah,
probably.
For the other Gorosei, right?
Gorosei,
that would make sense, because those are the only planets that haven't, anything to do with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think I think that'll definitely come into play sooner rather than later, because definitely very interesting how it all revolves around astrology stuff.
Chat,
I love that shit, bro.
Chat just brought up from Jay. I said, Pluton is literally under the world of Wano. Like,
and then Pluto is underworld. Yeah, that's a good connection too.
That's Justin from the chat, by the way.
Yeah, your boy. Yeah.
Hey, word. You're welcome.
You were chatting with this man. Welcome.
But yeah.
Yeah, this whole plane shit or planet shit is fucking crazy, bro.
But yeah, the Gorosei is in action though. He is on his way to Punk Hazard. Oh my god.
This nigga is fried.
Yo. I was good at first. These last like 20 minutes, I don't know what happened, bro. I've been just brain farting like hell. They're on their way to Egghead. As was made known a few chapters ago, the only person that has a higher command over the Seraphim than Vegapunk is the Gorosei, so it'll definitely probably see a skirmish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just gonna say that's probably realistically. I feel like that's the only real reason why he's coming out. I think that
that makes sense.
If they
that makes sense.
Because they planned on him dying. They planned on killing Vegapunk this whole time. And so they probably figured he was going to escape. And with everything that's going on there, they probably knew okay, if he's going to escape, then he might take the Seraphim with him. So
or use him to defend himself.
So we need someone who's above him in the chain of command to get the Seraphim off of them, because that's the world's government's assets. Honestly,
if you thought about what are they gonna do about the Seraphim, you could have guessed that a Gorosei was gonna come.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because I always was wondering that hierarchy thing that Oda kept showing us, and it showed Gorosei over Vegapunk. And I'm thinking when will that come into play? What is it like?
Yeah, right now.
Boom. And then boom. Yeah.
That's the song, baby.
You're right. Yeah. So now it makes sense. If they planned on killing him, they would expect Vegapunk to put resistance. So therefore, that's why okay, we need to send at least one of us need to go down there to take the Seraphim, because we put a lot of money into it. That's our plan for to have tipping the balance of the world's power back into our favor.
That's why we got rid of the warlords.
Yeah, so we can't let Vegapunk leave with the Seraphim. It's just that simple. So I feel like that's the main. That's 80 to 90% of the reason why at least one of them is there.
Yeah. And then whatever else, and also to ensure Vegapunk's dead.
Yeah, or a story or something like that.
That's what I was gonna say, because 100% of the reason is that their own motivation for being here is that to get the Seraphim. But in terms of Oda's developments, I wonder what the fuck is. I don't think that's gonna be the only thing that happens with him.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Between him and Kizaru, this is actually about to turn into a whole fucking battlefield. And all these.
Do y'all think that he's actually a fighter?
We gotta talk about this. Yeah. We gotta talk about this because people are debating now.
That cane is a sword, baby. He ready. Wait.
But one of the Gorosei actually carries a sword, though, right?
And the sword that people assume is the legendary version of Zoro's Nidai Kitetsu, which is the Sandai Kitetsu.
Okay, yeah. So I have to assume that they all are capable fighters in their own right.
And they have scars too, which is a mark of valor.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I don't think
mark of honor.
As long as it's not on your back.
Well, I think that they could be fighters. I don't think that they should be anything that impressive.
I hope so.
Just because it wouldn't make narrative sense, because the admirals are the world government's Marines. That's their ultimate fighting force. That is the superpowers that tip the balance between the Yonko Marines and warlords, etc., etc. Because if it was just simply the elders were like as strong as the admirals or yonkos or maybe even stronger, then I think that would be weird. Because then why would they fear yonko then if they got like people in the cut way stronger than them? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't disagree with you, but part of me is hoping this dude comes down like an RPG god. You know, when you're like the police, and he just wipes them out for a bit, and he's just like, ha ha ha.
This could be part of establishing that, honestly.
You know what I mean? Like, just to, like, see some crazy shit. I'm ready to see this old guy do some crazy shit right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm lucky with you.
I'm hoping. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. Feelings. I mean, I could see that. I just don't see. I personally, I just don't want it. I don't want him to be as strong as like an admiral or yonko. I think that's would be ridiculous. No, but he can still be strong. I still think he.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It doesn't make sense on a narrative level for this guy who's leading all these people, or this guy who has been in the shadows this whole time to be strong enough to contend with these people that have been causing trouble. Because then they could have been running around.
I think they're just lazy, bro.
You know what
I
mean?
They're old
they're
right now, bro.
I kind of think like in a narrative sense, like the way they move, like you said, they're hiding in the shadows. Like it makes sense for them to be weak fucks.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you know, Blackbeard. Again, when I mean, back if you remember back in Marine Forward, Blackbeard when he got his second devil fruit, and after Shanks came by to like stop the war and stuff, we get a cutaway of the Gorosei talking about Blackbeard's new fruit, and they were saying like, I think the only people that can really like fight Blackbeard now are like maybe Shanks. Marco could have a decent chance with the Whitebeard crew, etc., etc. They were not. They seemed worried. They didn't. If it was no big deal for them, then I feel like they didn't even have to mention their names, but they could have been a lot more calm about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, this ain't nothing. Like, yeah, or whatever. But nah, they didn't even portray themselves in that type of light. Like they're capable of handling like Yonko tier fighters or someone like Blackbeard, who we know is not who at least we all believe that he's not the strongest at the moment, and he definitely wasn't the strongest back then when that happened. So, you know, I just don't think that they're at that tier yet, or they're at that tier, but they could still be strong. Maybe they're like decent, like close to like Vice Admirals or something. I don't know.
My only thing is I feel like Akainu is no slouch when coming. Like he shows mad respect to these guys. I feel like he's probably seen one of the few people that's seen like their true power. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he's not the person to just let these old guys fucking roll him over. I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's just what I'm hoping. That they're not fucking vice admirals, because that'd be a little disappointing. I hope it's something else. Like we see some fight.
Their strength is like through authority, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say, because look at his name. His name is what does he have in common? Yeah, look at his name. It's Saint. He's in the same tier as like, you know, they're in the same tier as the Celestial Dragons, and they're not strong fighters. Literally. Yeah, they're quite. Yeah, they're the only ones that just don't do the whole bubble air bubble thing or whatever, the helmets or whatever.
Well, that's because they don't go down to wait, actually I just realized he's
I'm about to say that, like, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm getting that. Like you forget that, like, you know,
that's what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping
they're technically like, you know, Celestial Dragon F, right? Or adjacent or whatever you want to say, like, but his name's Saint J Garza, you know, just like Saint Charles and all the other Celestial Dragons, you know, they're of nobility and, you know, status and stuff. So they don't really have to dirty their hands. Now, not to say the Gorosei, they're not fighters. I wouldn't say that, because like y'all pointed out, they got battle scars, and all the other stuff. They don't seem to portray themselves necessarily like the Celestial Dragons, because, you know, they don't got the bubbles or whatever. So they clearly hold themselves to some degree like above other people, but at the same time, I don't even know if they feel like themselves like, okay, like Celestial Dragons, they're just our children, or they're childs compared to, like, I don't know what they think, but I would not say that they're weak. I just don't think that they're like Admiral Yonko tier. That would be insane to me. Like
that would be absolutely, that would be like, what would be the point of having them?
Bro pulls up and then just starts going toe to toe with Luffy, bro. I'd be mad. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Yeah, it would be cool. Like, a cool
they're not gonna touch him, bro.
A cool middle ground would be like some interesting powers, or maybe some aspect of
exactly.
I think it's some celestial, like he's just like they just can't, like he has like a barrier and they just can't touch him or some shit like that.
Yeah, like you know how Zeno in Dragon Ball. No, this is a whole nother anime, but like Zeno in Dragon Ball, he's not a fighter, but he can fuck shit up or blow up universes or whatever. He's technically the strongest being there, but he's not a fighter. It could be the similar case with this guy. Like maybe he has a crazy power.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just not a fighter.
Yeah.
It could be something like that.
Maybe something like that. That would be fucking crazy. Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
But, so yeah, pretty crazy actually, because the fact that we saw his name, because this is the second family full name we've gotten in of all the special dragons. Of all special dragons, we know one last name, which I guess this guy's last name is Saturn, I assume. But maybe it might be Jay Garcia. I can't really tell which name is first, because also the official Jay Garcia is one word. But anyway, either way, we know his full name. The other special dragons, we know like Charlos, and we know his dad's name. I think is Rosewald, something like that. Dog. We don't even know their last name, and the other family is the Don Quixote. That's it. We know Don Quixote Doflamingo, Don Quixote Mjosgard, Don Quixote Homing, which is Don Quixote Rocinante. We know their family name, but no other Special Dragon family name. So now it goes beyond the Gorosei. We actually know very little about Special Dragons in general. So it's crazy that we saw this guy's full
name. That's interesting. I never noticed that.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Definitely something to keep in mind. See if we can get some more Celestial Dragon info moving forward.
Yeah.
Real quick before we wrap it up, because we're pretty much at the end of the chapter. A little tidbit that I noticed on Twitter. So when the Gorosei arrives, Kizaru tells them to test the food for poison.
Yeah.
I mean, being very meticulous about this person's arrival. So for someone who is so meticulous about the things around him to the point where they're checking food for poison, and then for Shanks to just walk up to this individual, no check, security, nothing. I'm talking about like way back during the referee or whatever, or whenever the thing was. I think it's just something to think about.
Definitely.
No, I agree. And another thing that any posted in Twitter was that like in the Sandman said this Twitter Japanese guys that talks about One Piece. He's mentioned that in the Japanese, Kizaru is much more like on edge. He's like snapping and crabby, and in the official, he like actually yells at the guy and he says so he asked him to test for poison first. The guy's like, of course, and then he actually says exclamation point, I'll take it to him. So he like screams that part at him.
I'll take it to him. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why the kid is like, yes sir, like real, like that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, like even Kizaru's on edge, and that motherfucker is never on edge.
Yeah, he's always chilling. Wow.
Like, even when I'm so disrespectful, I can't remember Shanks' second command. Ben Beckman, he shoots when he has a gun to his head. He still shoots at Luffy and Law underwater, so he doesn't give a fuck about anything. So yeah, he's super on edge. One thing that we didn't talk about too much was in the second last page when Bucking talks about this is the left side. Marco, I can hear you telling you still doubt he's Whitebeards. I know someone who can prove it. Dr. Vegapunk. Yeah. So that kind of to me is giving more credence to the fact that he's more of a clone.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. Yes.
But maybe. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that it just makes sense because since she was seen as a freeloader, like so she like on that side by herself, like just making her own little baby while taking.
Yeah. It could be like this could be her project, which sounds crazy to put into words.
I think that like Weevil, so he might be a partially cloned by Whitebeard, but just like how like Stutzy is like the two Stutsies. I think that like if he was a perfect one-to-one clone of Whitebeard, people would have just noticed like, oh, this is Whitebeard when he was younger, or oh, he looks just like Whitebeard, like some type of correlation there, but we haven't seen that. So I want to believe that like he is probably part clone of Whitebeard, and then he might have someone else's genes as well. Could be Buckingham's genes as well, mixed, spliced in there. Some type of gene splicing or some type of way to get that to work.
I wonder how could you take two people and mix their DNA into a child?
Well, I mean, we don't know how the cloning process works.
I was being sarcastic. I was talking about sex. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, but
over everyone's head. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that's the obvious one though. Like we talk about like just.
I'm a fucking nerd, man. I was like, but the stitches.
Because I thought we were still talking about the cloning specifically. But I mean, like Weevil could be on some like Bizarro type thing. You know what I mean? Like, like
so in the chat, Sonny says like a whole Frankenstein off-brand Whitebeard. Off-brand Whitebeard is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, Frankenstein. I like that word choice.
Frankenstein is crazy.
Exactly. So even though she's trying to say like, hey, you can just go up to Vegapunk and get the info, like, yeah, he's like, he's Whitebeard, just ask Vegapunk. Like, she's either extremely confident that like, a DNA test means something, and then, or like, the fact is maybe she believes legitimately that is his son.
Yeah.
But when she go to Vegapunk's like, quite like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's technically she's not wrong, but
right, yeah, like
so we're supposed to use that stuff, like
right, exactly. Because I mean, it says here, like, what does she say? Freeloader, like she's the freeloader of the mass resident freeloader. So that means that at some point she probably like defected or she left, and like she could have took some type of like technology with her, or took Weevil or something like that. I don't know, just something. And maybe there's something that happened in between that has her actually legitimately believing that it's his son, or just that she could be perping, but because of the fact that he is quite literally has the DNA of Whitebeard, that therefore that gives him entitlements or whatever rights or whatever the case may be. I think that going forward, seeing the cloning process or like hearing about what it is going to be like huge implications for One Piece. Because I'm telling ya, if Tashigi comes out as a clone, like, bruh,
the cloning has definitely changed up the way that we see characters in One Piece, and it will definitely have bigger ramifications than this arc going forward. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder why. I wonder what the difference is for this Stussy, which I'm never gonna say again. This is not Stussy. It's Miss Buckin. I wonder why Miss Buckin is so. Obviously, it's the Whitebeard money, but like, does she give a fuck about her own clone? Does she know it exists? Like,
her own clone. That's a good question.
Yeah, because it's obviously her son. Please get my son back. She's so, obviously it has to do with like being a mama's boy or whatever. But like, dog, you have your own kid.
It's definitely possible where she was like, yeah, you could use me for experiments, or you could clone me, but then you have to let me make a clone for myself, or you know what I mean, like type of shit too.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why she's so attached to this one. Maybe she really did love Whitebeard. I don't know.
Well, I feel like this might have been like in the instance of her first project, because she's self-proclaimed, right? So like, this is her baby essentially, and she created this from like she birthed it into what it is today, fucking Weevil.
Oh, so I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, she's got that attachment that this is her child, and she parented this whole time now. That's just how she sees it. I mean, she's still crazy, but
maybe. When was the Rocks event? Was it 40 years prior
It
to the
was
story?
38 years ago or something like that.
38. Okay, so she, assuming she's in her 60s, because Oda likes to portray characters like this in their 60s in terms of like design, versus when they're younger. It could be it could be even up to their 40s or 50s that they look younger, and the 60s is like when he starts making them look like this. So assuming that she was like 38 prior, I'm gonna just be very lowballish, like she was 60 years old exactly. Like let's say she's exactly 60 years old, and 38 years ago that would make her 22 at the time. So it could be possible that she fell in love with Whitebeard during that time frame. I think that's possible. Now, how genuine this is at today's time frame, I do not know, because we don't know.
She's a gold digger, as Kanye.
That's what I'm saying though. Like when Oda portrayed her first with the introduction of her and Weevil, we saw there was a lot of greed, and we thought like, okay, maybe she's like perping, like there's just no way, because we looked at Weevil, we were like, okay, there is in no God's name like the chance that that's Weevil's son. Like I thought, honestly, low key, I thought that they grabbed something from like the cosmetic store, put some shit on him, and called him Weevil, like Whitebeard's son. Like
that's ridiculous.
I even went that far. Like, bro, that mustache is fake. Like all that shit. Like, but now that with all this new info and stuff, and then how they're portrayed here, it might be some genuineness, because like they didn't have to. It didn't seem like she objected to Weevil, doing this. But she is still talking about the money too. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm legit interested now. Where I thought these were just scrubs, like doing the whole Straw Hat thing at the beginning of the time skip. Yeah. I thought that's what was happening, because people apparently pretend to be certain pirates or whatever lineage in order to get the perks or whatever. So I thought that's what was happening, but I guess there's a little bit more genuineness coming from this. So I'm interested.
Indeed. Yeah, was there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, one last extremely cursed thing, if no one else has anything important, because this is not important at all.
Nah, go ahead, man.
Mr. Shamad, y'all know anything with chapter? Like, is there anything in chapter you want to talk about? Because this is actually the last stupid thing.
No, I was just gonna show off my pins that I got.
Cool. So about the chapter, I'm gonna send a picture to the Strawhat, the actual, like our actual account, of this character from Arlong Park. Callie, can you just open it up on stream?
Yeah, you gonna put it on what, Twitter chat?
Yeah, I sent it.
Fuck, I knew that motherfucker looked familiar.
Oh, this is the dude that was on the island.
If you go up a little bit, yeah. But this is not him. Callie, go up to the actual in the chapter. There's some differences when they show his face. Yeah, there you go. Like he has the similar, like he has like the weird whiskers, but he doesn't. He has like weird teeth.
That's a different dude.
That's a different dude. But they both have like the ears, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they both have the ears on their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the years could not have been kind. I mean, it's definitely possible.
Maybe 2 years, dude. He's having a rough go of it, eh? But this just reminds me of the guy that Frankie in Wano Part 1, whenever they're all like doing their own thing, the guy Frankie worked under is the brother of the carpenter from Luffy's village. Or like maybe they're related somehow.
Whoa, okay, wait. The guy that Frankie worked under? Who are we talking about?
There's no way
you're talking about the dude in Wano, the carpenter.
Oh, from Wano. I'm like, I'm like, Tom, what are you talking about, bro?
Oh no, I thought I said Part 1 of Wano, right?
Okay, no, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah. So that dude is the same brother. That's because people noticed him, like, yo, this guy looks familiar, and noticed like, oh, it's like the brother, or like he's related to the dude from Fuchsia Village or whatever. Oh yeah, they're like their family tree is the same or something like that. So these guys, this is something small that I noticed. I was like, this guy looks so
fucking crazy, bro. Wow, man.
Oh,
what a catch!
That's actually something I forgot to mention that I wanted to touch on. Like, I don't know how that made y'all feel or made y'all think differently. I mean, we all knew that the Marines were scumbags, but the fact is that like the world that of One Piece is a lot different than I realized. Because like I mean, I knew it, but this just re-solidified it. Because basically, in our real time, right? Like the government or whatever in real life, or like cops or whatever. I assumed that that's what the Marines essentially were, right? Like, I think that's a fair assumption. I assume
so far.
Yeah, and then, but here's the thing: like, we pay taxes to fund police to do whatever they have to do. In the world of One Piece, they pay like what is it, the Heavenly Tribute?
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah,
and not only so, if you didn't pay the Heavenly Tribute, you just would not get protection by Marines, which I thought was scumbaggy. If y'all supposed to be, about, justice for everyone or whatever, that you would gatekeep that with money. But, y'all are assholes. But the fact is that, like, it's crazy that I'm seeing it in real time, that not only just these islands get raided by pirates, but by other Marines as well, to basically do the same shit that, what pirates did. They're raiding that village and saying like, oh, well, y'all don't pay the Heavenly Tribute, so you guys essentially are worse than humans. You guys are not even like, you guys are not worthy of human rights by that extension. And it's crazy to think that that's how like they think about that. It's like, oh, you guys are just not even human. That's a very, very interesting connotation. You know what I mean? Because it makes me think back of Saba Odi and the slaves and stuff like that. I wonder if this is like how they get slaves in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, places that don't pay the Heavenly Tribute are just like up for grabs when it comes to slavery and stuff like that. In the world of One Piece, I think that's actually very interesting.
Yeah, and I bet similarly to like police and similar forces in our world, they probably aren't supposed to do this, but like no one's gonna check for them. Yeah. They can abuse their power, right? Like, just like Arlong Park. Exactly. That's why they show this motherfucker, someone clearly related to that guy in the Arlong Park, right? Yeah. Doing this kind of stuff. So it's an abuse of power still, but yeah, like people that don't pay their tribute, like y'all, they're fucked. Which is why Marco has to protect it, right?
But you know what's crazy about the Arlong Park thing? That like, I'm pretty sure even though Arlong, what is it called? Whatever.
Kokoyashi Village.
Yeah, Kokoyashi Village. I'm pretty sure they pay the tribute because they could have been as blunt about it as this guy was. Like, this guy gave zero fucks. He was like, oh. No one's going to care about you guys. You guys are bottom of the barrel. Y'all don't pay the Heavenly Tribute. It's over. They, the Marines, when they went to Kokoyashi Village, they weren't treating it like that. You know what I mean? They still seemed like it was official business, or officially we're doing this, that, and the third. But underneath all that, there's a lot of corruption. So all that other stuff, which is kind of like more closer to like our world than it is like, here in the world of One Piece. But this is super blatant. Like, this is like, I give no, like, imagine if like a cop in real life just blatantly like kicked down someone's door to steal their shit and saying like, you guys don't pay your taxes. So like, oh my gosh, that's like crazy. But
I bet that shit definitely happens in less developed places, probably.
In less developed places. Like, it's just so interesting how when I look at stuff like this and how it parallels like, potential real life implications to real life, power structures and stuff, and how they work, how so chaotic it is that like, someone who is supposed to be like on the side of like taking care and providing quote unquote justice to civilians everywhere or whatever, that they would exclude places based off of like, wealth and class and stuff like that, versus like, like helping everyone indiscriminately, even poor people. But to see those official people actually partake in like what stuff pirates do is like what Oda always does in terms of like correlating between pirates and Marines and talk about like, you know, how they can be flip-floppy, you know. So I really like this.
That's why Luffy's gonna reenact the Saboti/Dragon Punch on the Gorosei right now.
Stay
woke.
Great points though, bro. Great points though.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to go over?
That's all I had. That's all I had. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been episode 52. We're on break next week, right? Yeah, we're on break next week, so we will be back. We will be back next week. Just won't be with a chapter. We'll find some cool stuff for us to do during the podcast. In the meantime, make sure you guys follow our Twitter at Strawhat Sitdown. Subscribe to our YouTube, same name, Strawhat Sitdown. Appreciate everybody that's hung out with us in the chats today on Twitch. Appreciate everybody listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Podbean, etc. We appreciate you guys. We will be back next week with some more One Piece content for this amazing show and story that we have grown to love. Yeah, I guess that's it. Right? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Did you say you was getting something?
This outro feels off. Go ahead.
Oh, so just real quick, since we were talking about some new pins came in. There's a Whitebeard pin, and then we got Marco.
That one is sick.
Okay.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, they can't see it because they gotta wait for the stream.
On the stream.
Then we got Big Mom.
That was clean.
Can't do Big Mom without Katakuri.
Nice.
And finally, to end, we got Shanks.
Did you just get all these?
Yeah, they came in one. They were delayed. They all came in one package.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what do you do with these pins?
I have a pin board.
It was a board, yeah.
A board?
Yeah,
I do remember seeing that actually. Yeah.
I have the board, and then some I sell. You know, after a while.
Where? Sick.
But
Heat, bro.
Amazing pins.
Yeah, there's a way they can get pins themselves, no?
Yeah.
There is indeed. By following our TikTok at Strawhat Sitdown and staying tuned for our amazing giveaway. We have some pins that we want to give away to you guys too. All right, so make sure you guys follow the TikTok at Strawhat Sitdown. Stay tuned for that. All right, and try and win one of these pins yourself because they are very lovely, very magnificent.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think that is it, Callie.
That is it. Thank you for that because I think that's actually what I was forgetting. That I think about it was. All right. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week. Until then, guys, take it easy, be safe, be healthy. We appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Take it easy, chat.
Peace.
Peace.